The Shelter Afrique is open for business and has already started to build a pipeline, which is coming close to $500 million US terms. So when you then look at the capital structure of Shelter Afrique, the shareholders' funds are only 100 million. Of course, we've gone for a call to raise an additional 250 million from our existing shareholders. But we've also introduced a Class C to introduce new shareholders that come from global companies, developmental and financial institutions, socially responsible investors to come in as Class C, because Class A are the 44 member states, Class B is the African Development Bank and Africa Reinsurance Company, then Class C is for global entities. This is where we as Shelter Afrique have said we want to go out to the market to attract these Class C shareholders. One other way to raise money is through bonds, and of course the green bonds is an area which we want to look at, because those green bonds would now support the green developments for housing, which then would also then mean that we are seen as a responsible institution that is sensitive to the environment because of the benefits of greening. When we talk to institutions that would support green bonds like the International Finance Corporation and any other, they basically want to incentivize green bonds by giving better interest rates. So the benefit of that is there would be a differential of even 2% interest rate, which would be very material, because we can then pass that on to the developers so they develop houses at lower costs. And then also, if we do it properly, including the beneficiaries, they'll get mortgages also at lower interest rates. So it's important. It's supporting the sustainable development goal of the United Nations New Urban Agenda, the goal number 11. And we at Shelter Afrique are very serious about it, because it talks to benefiting the end user, the mwananchi, because he or she then starts to pay less in terms of electricity bills, utilities, because of the material used to build the house. Instead of electricity, then there's solar, and also in terms of the way the water is used and the materials used also to build that house. So yes, it's very important, because we believe that through greening, an individual's utilization, or let's call it utility bills, can be reduced by as much as 20 to 30%. Of course, some countries do not have deep capital markets in Africa because of the size of the countries, but I would like to say that you have deeper markets like the South African markets, Nigerian markets. Of course, East Africa, with Kenya being a hub, would be very much able to support the green. They've already supported a blue tap bond, which is more for the marine industry. But I do believe, with the capacity that we have in the Kenya market, you've got a sophisticated, well-governed Kenya market, markets authority, and a stock exchange as well. So Kenya would be more than adequate to support the bond, not only for Kenya but also for East Africa. Africa has the highest urbanization rate. So if we don't play a part to catalyze the building of houses and attract private capital into low-cost housing, what's going to happen is, through that 4-5% urbanization rate per annum, there's going to be too many people in the cities without adequate accommodation, and then they have to default to live in slums, which we feel is unacceptable. Almost 60% of, even just if you look at Kenya, 60% of the urban dwellers are living in slums. That's very significant.